chest.
And now, folks, it's time for Who Do You Trust? Hubba, 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 money, money, money. Who do you trust? Me? I'm giving away free money.
So you're probably wondering, is Yield Nodes dead? And I'm here to tell you that with my 20 years of experience in this space, these guys are restructuring to basically buy themselves time to run. And if you're involved in Yield Nodes, I would try to take action. If you're trying to get your money out, get a lawyer if you've lost millions, or just accept the fact that your money's gone and it's time to move on. So this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to avoid programs and Ponzi's like this in the future so you don't fall into this trap again. Yield Nodes was showing Ponzi-like characteristics really early on. I actually posted in my Discord group, in the Let's Chat channel, and if you search Yield Nodes at the top right of Discord, you'll see my post on October 15th, 2021. I was warning my user base about Yield Nodes and how I thought it was a Ponzi scheme and was going to scam. They're going to basically rug pull everybody at some point, and it was only a matter of time. I talk about master nodes and how I believe that those are unreliable, unsustainable for a business model, and you can check out this message here on your own time. But programs like Yield Nodes basically use a very similar Ponzi-like model. So this model was based on high yield investment programs, and these have been around for 20 plus years. I actually got involved in some of these when I was a teenager, and I found this website, Hip Explorer, and it's been around for like 20 years. It looks almost exactly the same. They basically rate these high yield investment programs from best to worst, which ones are still paying, which ones have been going the longest, so on and so forth. If you click on one of these, you can see that they look pretty flashy. It looks like an investment website. And they show you if you basically send out a deposit through crypto, they usually deal with crypto, and if you lock up your funds for, say, 30 days, you'll come out with 3,700% profit. Now, the majority of people that don't know much about investing, what kind of profits are possible within the investment world, they'll get sucked into this because they are greedy and want huge profits and look at the potential. And the thing is that a lot of these programs will work pretty early on, because if you find the good ones or the popular ones early on, they will go for a few days, a couple weeks, a month, sometimes even years, depending on the program and its popularity. So Yield Nodes was obviously pretty popular, and they were offering less percent gains than a good majority of these high yield investment programs, and that helped them have more sustainability for a longer period of time. So I actually covered one of these high yield investment programs. It was called ROFX, and I did a video back on this 2 years ago, basically warning people, this company is a scam, don't get involved. And they actually ended up rug pulling basically a year later, and I did another video talking about that. So these guys were involved in the Forex market and were basically masking their business, their fraudulent business through the Forex market by using a website called MyFXBook. This is a third-party tracked website, which is actually legit, but they were using a white label broker, so a scam broker, and were fudging all the results, and basically people couldn't tell that they were getting scammed because they could only see this equity line going straight up every day of every month for 3+ years. So really interesting way that this company was going about their scam, but I was able to read through it and try to warn people about what was taking place. So ROFX is now going under tens of millions of dollars worth of lawsuits, and it's a real big mess. And hopefully I was able to save some people from getting involved with this company back a couple of years ago. Okay, so there's still so many of these websites around, and they're popping up all the time, and they have really clever ways of masking their Ponzi. So whether it's a crypto exchange, whether it's a video game that you play, whether it's through NFTs, and this one, like you see here, through Stable Fund, they talk about a 1.5% rewards daily through our investment robot or program, and they don't go into detail about how this 1.5% is made and how it's possible on a daily basis, because that's well overshooting the industry standard, which is about 1 to 3% profit every single month. And these guys, for example, Goldbridge, these are two guys that trade gold on a daily basis, and they talk about their gains through this really low budget calendar, and they show their profits. But how do you know that these guys are actually profiting from the market, that they're actually trading gold? Because they just basically show you the stats that they're making on this little calendar, but they don't show you the trades, they don't show you how it's done, they don't even show you the trader that's trading for them. And so these are the kinds of details that you guys need in order to make an informed decision about if this program's a scam or not. But typically, these guys in these kinds of programs never go into detail about how their profit is actually made, and if it's from trading, if it's from crypto, and what it is, and show you actually need to see those trades and make sense of them so you guys can make a better decision. I made a checklist for you guys to help you avoid scams and Ponzi's like Yield Nodes in the future. Now, Yield Nodes doesn't fail miserably at these 8 points that I'm going to go over. They actually do a couple of them pretty well, but remember, they were also in business for 3 years, and they just stopped paying people, and so tens of thousands of people are probably going to lose millions of dollars here. So, the first one I want to go over is, does the program or business lock up your funds? So when you make a crypto deposit, which most of them deal with crypto deposits, do they lock up your funds so you can't make a withdrawal after you make a deposit? This is a standard Ponzi practice to try to slow down the process of withdrawals so they can stay in business longer. It's a huge red flag. The next one is, do they promise high profits over 1 to 3% per month? They did. 5 to 15%, some cases 20% that they were offering to their client base. And this is well above the industry average. So the industry average for banks, institutions, hedge funds is 1 to 3% a month. So they've looked for profiting 20 to 30% on a yearly basis. And this is considered a really good investment. And so if you're finding a program or see something or a program is offering higher than that, that means that there's huge risk involved and you should stay away. I actually am a trader myself and develop algorithms and have found ways to squeeze out a little bit more profit, but it's really difficult trying to profit more than 5% every single month, and it becomes a lot more risky when trying to do that. So I would stay away from big profit promises, okay? So the next one here, do they explain their business model well? So this is actually one that Yield Nodes did pretty well, but they didn't go into real big detail about how master noding is done and what kind of profits they're expecting, what kind of profit they're expecting from each master node, and how that actually functions during a bear market as well. And this is something that they didn't talk about, and how the program was going to survive, because master noding is really inconsistent and not really reliable. So there's no way I could see personally that they could have longevity in this business model. Okay, so the next one here, do they show their faces? Basically, do they have faces to the company? And this is something that Yield Nodes did okay with. You could see the founders of the company, they even had interviews and so on and so forth. And it made people trust them a lot more, but still, here we are, and they're trying to run and not paying anybody. Okay, so do they show the results through a third party, and can they be verified? So this was something that basically everybody did. For Yield Nodes, they showed their pictures of payment proofs, videos. The influencers were talking about them as well. Family and friends and all that kind of stuff were showing payment proofs that these guys were actually legit, and they were for 3 years. So another thing that Yield Nodes did okay. What brokers do they use? So if this is a program that is involved in stock trading or crypto trading or Forex or something like that, you should know what kind of broker that they're using, because a lot of these brokers are scams. They can be white labeled, and so the results can be basically fudged. And this is something that you want to try to avoid, because it's easy to get caught in a bad broker situation, and they can manipulate the results, and there are basically no profits because the results are complete fabricated. Okay, so the next one, what technology do they use, and is it sustainable? As you know, Yield Nodes uses master nodes, right? And I've said it before, master nodes are really unreliable. It's difficult to actually make an income from them. It doesn't matter how many funds you have involved with the master node. The profit that you get from them are inconsistent, because the bear market, most of these cryptos that have master nodes are tanking, and you can just see them on a daily basis doing that. Okay, so are the profits that they are promising possible? And this goes back to the 5 to 15% a month. Is this kind of profit sustainable month after month, year after year? It's It's really not. And this has been the case in pretty much every single field. When profit of this amount is being shown and being pushed to client base, it's a limited time. And that's an unfortunate reality because, as mentioned before, the industry average is maximum around 3%. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful in you avoiding programs like this in the future because a lot of people lose money in this area with these high yield investment programs. So make sure and do your research and try to find the best fit for you to protect your money. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. See you on the next one.